Yo, what's going on, y'all?
What's happening, everybody?
Welcome back after a hiatus we didn't even mean to have.
We took a break that we did not intend to take, and it messed up our early season plans or our week one plans. For those who don't know, we did get slapped with a community strike, which on YouTube means that as content creators, we did not have access to any type of uploading, whether it was a post, whether it was a video, whether it was a live stream for 1 week. Mistake on our part. It won't happen again. That's just point blank.
Yes, sir. We're excited to finally be able to stream with y'all again. We had been streaming on Discord and Twitch for the past week. For those that made it to those, thanks for chilling. Sorry it didn't work out for you, Nemo, but yeah, we're glad to have everybody back.
We're back
in the preferred platform. So yeah, ready to go. Week 2.
We're back, and it feels good. So, and to that point, we wanted to make sure that we became available to you guys as soon as we could, which we obviously don't typically do Friday streams. This is a special occasion, but also felt like a necessary thing to do after the lost time. So this is bonus. This is a bonus. This is gravy. We are still as planned. Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, taking you up as close to the slate as we need to answer start-sit questions. We're back on track, and the content as far as video uploads is not far behind.
Yep, those are all coming.
Yep, I threw an Edmund short today for the fuck of it, basically, just because it was like I haven't done anything for our people for so long. So
yeah, I saw that.
We'll make sure that we get that. We'll have stuff out for this weekend and moving forward.
Absolutely. But hey, should be a fun week this week. Finally, be able to get to stream with all y'all for basically 3 days in a row.
And at this point, it's like 6 of the next 7 days. So it's gonna be fun. It's much needed after a hiatus that we had no intention of taking, like we said. But let's talk shop. Let's talk ball. We can recap last night's game between the Chargers and Chiefs that we all watched courtesy of the overlords over at Amazon Prime. Any fallout reaction to that? Of course, the biggest takeaway probably is the Justin Herbert injury. Fracture in his rib cartilage.
Yep.
This is probably going to be a pain tolerance type of thing for him. It's not a cracked bone, which is good news. But I mean, playing through cracked ribs, it's difficult enough to breathe when you're not being chased by defensive ends and linebackers. So this is very much a significant pain tolerance issue that Herbert's going to be dealing with moving forward. Probably going to make it. He's going to be uncomfortable for probably. I feel like these types of things are 4 to 6 weeks, assuming that nothing worse happens, which is obviously probably short-sighted to do. So, he's probably not going to run as much. His rushing upside is probably officially 0 for the next month or so. Not that you were drafting Justin Herbert for that, but he is capable of escaping the pocket, maybe chipping in, giving you like 15 to 20 yards on the ground, maybe. That's not going to happen, I would think, for the next month or so. And you saw it last night. I think there was a second down where he kind of rolled to his right and had a wide open lane to run for a first down. And he attempted to do it and just immediately threw the ball away. You could tell he just didn't have it in him, unfortunately, because he would have picked it up had he run, but he clearly is not physically capable of that right now. So just something to keep in mind. I would expect a lot of get the ball out fast type of plays. So Austin Eckler is probably going to be a huge beneficiary of this in the short term. And if Keenan Allen is able to come back sooner than later, that probably helps him out as well. Mike Williams might not be able to be utilized to his full potential if Herbert's not able to throw the ball deep because of pain tolerance. But we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been, again, slamming the table for Gerald Everett, and look at what he did again. Back-to-back games, been producing.
Yep.
So that was good to see. Josh Palmer scored a touchdown. That was good to see.
Everett looks good.
The Eckler usage is still, or even just, it's not what you would have expected from Eckler coming into the season in his first two games.
Well, he caught 9 passes last night, so that's good. And then I think he had, what do you have, like 12 carries last night, something around there. So I mean, I figured he would get 20 touches. I think he got to that point. It's tough when you had, he had 14 carries last night. Yeah, the yardage on the ground, 2.8 yards per carry, not good. 9 catches, 55 yards. That's about, that's about on the higher end of what you can hope for from Austin Eckler. 9 catches, 55 yards in the receiving game. It's just tough for running backs at the start of the season because generally speaking, you're going to divvy up the work a little bit at first to keep guys fresh if there's not a clear-cut guy to turn to. And then on the short week on top of it, week 1, week 2, it can feel like what's going on with these running backs. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire has 22 touches total through 2 games. Now he's made the most of his opportunities, but still it doesn't feel like he's done all that much because he just hasn't gotten the work. It's tough, having an early Thursday game, like literally the second week of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a whole lot more of Jerick McKinnon than I thought we would. I thought we'd see a little bit more Isaiah Pacheco. Turns out we did not, but CEH looked real good. 9.25 yards per carry average on 8 carries. I know it's only 8 carries, but I still 74 yards on those 8 carries. Very good. Caught, again, all 4 of his targets, just like he did in week 1 when he caught all 3 of his targets. So he very good. And I mean, I feel like that role only has to grow considering what he's done the past 2 games. So I like CEH going into week 3 more than I ever thought I would.
Looks like a early hero RB home run target.
Yep. Because imagine if he gets, the workload that, I don't know,
just 15
not a Saquon,
touches,
but even just a Swift.
Just 15 touches. I think he had 10 week 1. He had 12 last night. I mean, so only 3 more. Okay, so say 17 touches. I mean, that's not outrageous to ask for a starting running back. 17, 18 touches. Clyde is going to be, if he keeps this up, is going to be a top 15 running back for the season. And you expect the work to go up again. 22 touches, having to play 2 games in 5 days or 4 days, whatever it is, to start the season. You're probably not going to put you're not going to give your running back a full plate to start
running
things
backs
off.
Either
like
fire year 1 or typically fire year 3. So year 3 breakout for CEH looks like it's here.
If you bought low on him this year in Dynasty, nicely done, and in redraft, it's looking like a great hero RB pick.
Absolutely. And D. Linney, what's going on? A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, starting wide receiver. Who should I play in the flex half PPR? DK Metcalf, DJ Chark, Jahan Dotson, Damian Harris, Ashton Doolin. If Pittman misses, and Metcalf rain game. Yeah,
it's DK. It's DK.
Yeah, he caught every single one of his passes last game, and Geno Smith, I kind of left that game thinking he could do more through the air if needed. So, Metcalf.
It's DK. It's just there are multiple tier breaks.
I like the options there. Chark, Dotson, Damian Harris, but it's Metcalf.
Yeah, it's DK. No question.
Rojo, is Dobbins going to play? I mean, it's trending in that direction.
Looks like it. Return to practice, I think, on Wednesday, right? I think he returned to practice on Wednesday. And then he was confirmed a full participant yesterday, Thursday practice. Yep. I haven't seen anything in the way of setbacks. I think we can expect 12 to 15 touches from Dobbins. Okay, 2 hours ago, this is an update from RotoWire. Practice is in full, but questionable. He was listed as a full practice participant this week, but he is listed as questionable for Sunday's game. I think the questionable tag is maybe a little bit of a smoke show or a smoke screen. Smoke screen. It seems like he's in line to play. He practiced in full all this week. I guess they could take it, the Ravens, cautiously one more week, but this is the NFL. You can only if your guy is ready to go, you don't want to hold back out of an abundance of caution while also still thinking you can win the game without him. The Dolphins are a tougher opponent than the Jets. I know the Ravens are at home, and the Ravens are on paper a better team than the Dolphins, but whatever. The Denver Broncos on paper were better than the Seattle Seahawks by a wider margin. I mean, you want your guys in there. So if he's able to practice in full, he's going to play. Will he get his full workload? I'm going to say hard no, not yet. And I originally said 12 to 15 touches. Maybe we're looking at more like 10 touches. So he's going to have to come through on some elite efficiency. He's a cautious flex play, I would say, given the fact that he is still being listed as questionable. Cautious flex play. Not a surefire guy to fire up as your RB2.
Yep.
But if there's a tier break like J.K. Dobbins or, Rashad White or Rex Burkhead, or a guy that you picked up on the wire, that Jeff Wilson. I know Jeff Wilson's a trendy option to play this week, maybe I would play Jeff Wilson over Dobbins. Like a Melvin Gordon, I think you got to play Dobbins over guys like Gordon, over guys like
Gordon.
Dobbins, I would think so. He's going to be the starter. I don't know what that necessarily means.
First game back, I think I would go Gordon.
All right. Point being, he's volatile.
Yep.
He's volatile. For this week.
Theo, we got banned on our first watch party of the season. Ended up angering the YouTube gods, and it is what it is. But we're back. Yeah,
we are back. And we can continue to just address this as people start continue to trickle into the room. What's going on, everybody? We missed all of you. We really did.
Week one didn't feel like it was really, it didn't feel like a fulfilling week one.
Not for me. No, not for either of us. We unfortunately for a small time during a watch party Thursday night, a small portion of the game got broadcast on our broadcast on our personal stream. YouTube flagged it, locked us for a week.
Yep.
We fought it. We appealed it. We talked to all types of support team members. There was nothing we could do. So we apologize for that. Obviously not planned. Not how, again, like John said, not how we wanted to start the season, but it is over. We are back, and couldn't be happier to be back.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, let's see. And Nemo wants to talk about the Derwin James tackle on Kelsey last night. Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
He crushed him.
Yeah,
for Kelsey's sake, I'm happy he popped right back up because he suplexed him. that was a wrestling style move. Shout out Derwin James. He's a nightmare issue. He's a nightmare matchup for a lot of people. You're never going to sit a guy like Travis Kelsey because of a matchup, but you saw the impact Derwin James had.
Yeah, so that
Kelsey had a floor
something
game.
You need to watch out for you lesser tight end having owners out there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, be on the lookout.
Yeah, when you're facing this team, something to take notice of. But Quinn Math, what's going on?
What's up, Quinn? Thanks for coming in.
Yep, Everett looked great last night.
Everett looks awesome. I mean, they were missing Keenan Allen, but
he capitalized.
This guy needs to be a focal point of the offense when everybody is fully healthy. and he's probably going to be a beneficiary. Again, I said Eckler and Keenan Allen with, Herbert might look to get the ball out faster over the next month or so with these broken ribs. Everett is in that conversation as well. Short, intermediate,
Absolutely.
Get the ball out quick.
He's been the one late round tight end thus far to hit. So
that has fired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's still early, but yeah, he's the guy so far that has fired. He looks good. Needs to be rostered.
And yeah, D. Lenny, you were leaning DK. Yeah, that's the way we would go to.
There you go.
It's looking like a Nyheim Hines week. It could be.
Oh,
could
yeah.
Be New Drews.
It absolutely could be a Nyheim Hines week. If Pittman is limited, Alec Pierce is already ruled out. This, it's a thin receiving core right now. And if Pittman, it sounds like Pittman's it sounds like they're optimistic, but it sounds like he's not going to be 100% for this game. So even if he does suit up, yeah, Hines could see a lot of work, and they're on the road for the second straight week. The Colts are. So, yeah, I like pass catching running backs on the road. Just feels like a situation where you're more likely to just keep your foot on the gas regardless of the opponent, because it's hard to win. It's hard to win on the road, especially in the division. So yeah, absolutely could be. Quinn wants to see CD on the Cardinals. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's. I mean, you can hope that he's like the only guy the Cowboys can't part with right now. Him and Micah Parsons.
And D. Lenny, Burks or Watson as the league winner stash for a 4-man bench. I mean, Burks
is the better chance between those two.
Watson is one catch away last week from being the guy here. The only thing is now he has to contend with Allen Lazard being back in the lineup, whereas, this should have been Watson's time to shine, and he didn't. So, and maybe that was just first play of the game, jitters or whatever, but, yeah, you got to go Burks.
Yep.
He showed enough in week 1, even though it was only 3 catches on 5 receptions, but he showed enough. He was involved, which is really all we were asking for, a month ago. There were rumors that he was the wide receiver 3 on the team. I don't think that's the case. So Burks. And Quinn will be here. Rojo, half PPR, start Ayuk or Jarvis. That's actually tough. I think I would go safe play Jarvis, and I think Jarvis has the upside too.
Yeah, I mean, in Tampa Bay, the game script favors Jarvis. I do like I like Brandon Ayuk.
Me too, but I gotta go Jarvis.
I mean, the game script definitely favors Jarvis. When do the Bucks and Saints play a early game or a late game? And I think that game is in New Orleans, or no, I think it's in Tampa.
It's a early
I'm just
game.
checking it.
Early game, 1:00.
It is an early game, so you have to make a call. Like
I think they're gonna be close. I just
think the game's in New Orleans.
San Fran. And maybe Seattle can be scrappy again. I just think game script would drop with what Jarvis Landry did in week 1. Jarvis Landry.
And it's gonna be raining again for the 49ers. Not as intensely as it was in Chicago, but it is gonna be a rain game.
Yep.
In San Francisco, whereas Jarvis gets the comfy confines of playing in a dome. Yeah, I guess a slight edge to Landry. That's crazy. I like Ayuk. I do.
Yeah, edge to the vet.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Cali Loco? Joe Harris. Good to see you, man.
Heel out too. What's going on, everybody?
What's happening?
Good to be back.
Burrow or Wentz or Lance, two different teams. I mean, Wentz is going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just forced the Eagles to have to put up 38 points.
That was, oh, you mean the Lions? Sorry.
Sorry. The line.
I mean, between Burrow and Wentz, I'm going Burrow with or without T. Higgins.
Yeah, but between Wentz and Lance, I'm going. I think for this week, I'm going Wentz.
You're going Wentz. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with that.
I kind of got to see it from Lance. Now that I saw what happened last week, and yes, weather narrative. So I'm letting he gets a pass, but I need to see 1 week before I fully put my trust in that offense again.
Wentz is in a dome because they're on the road in Detroit. Good
Burrow
offense.
over Wentz, Wentz over Lance for this week.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Jason, your wide receivers are having a great time right now in the members only league.
I'm looking at it.
Who are they? Who's he got?
Oh, because you got Wilson and Dubs. Is that because you have Wilson and Dubs going? Oh yeah, you got Pierce is out, Tony's whatever, Hamler's out. Yeah, man. Well, good luck. You went hard on running back in that league. Yeah, you went really hard on that running back in that league.
Yep.
Well, that's what's. Yeah, I mean, hey.
And we did talk about how, in past streams over the past week that you probably weren't in due to the circumstances, but we talked about how, hitting on running back early on multiple times in those first few rounds was probably the wrong way to go in hindsight, looking back, in terms of what you can take away from what happened in week one. Really, again, I mean, we've said it multiple times over the past week. Hero RB was the way to go. The team makeups that I see across the leagues that I'm in that went that way just look a lot better. They just do. So, something to think about for the future. But regardless, let's get back to the chat here. Herbert did seem a little pissed at Everett after that pick. I didn't see that.
I mean, Everett asked to come out after the catch that set up that goal line, or not goal line, but like short field red zone opportunity right before the pick. Right before that pick, Everett had a huge catch and run to get them down there in the first place. And then you could see after I think they replayed it on the feed. He signaled to the sidelines. He needed to come out. He was like, I need a breather. And they said, no, we're running hurry up right now. So he didn't get a chance to catch his breath. He was clearly gassed.
Yeah.
And he tried to, and he told the coaching staff, he was like, take me out. I need a break. I need a breather. And they said, no, they were like, we're running, running hurry up. And so that's why he, like, when you saw him after the pick, he kind of didn't go after him because I guess it's not a good look on tape, but he didn't have anything left at that point. He needed a few plays to catch his breath. That's very clearly what happened. So, I mean, I know you're driving, and in that situation, you feel like you're on the hurry up, you're in a good spot, you're doing your thing. But if your guy is gassed and asking for a breather, and he's the first read on the throw, it's like you're kind of setting yourself up to fail there. Maybe not Herbert, but I think you got to put it on the coaching. Like, all right, our guy who might be our number one read on this play, evidenced by the fact that that's where Herbert went on the play through to Everett. Maybe we should take him out and, put the backup in and run something different, because we still have Eckler. We still have Mike Williams. We still have, and then all we need is, we still have Josh Palmer, and all we need is 6, 7, 8 yards for a touchdown. Like, we can figure this out. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but you saw him do this on the feed, he was asking the sideline. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's just mismanagement. You were trying to pull a fast one, and it backfired.
All I know is he's been involved over the past few weeks. We were right all off season on Gerald Everett, so
yeah,
gonna keep saying that.
Yeah,
we said all off season he was a guy that you could get super late, who has top 12 upside. If you missed out and he was on waivers, hopefully you can pick him up if you are in need of a tight end. If you have a guy like Noah Fant or Alberto or Irv Smith or Cole Kmet, honestly, rather have Everett right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Thomas or Tunyon, half PPR. Tunyon or Knox, half PPR. Well, Tunyon over Thomas. I'm guessing that's
about
Logan Thomas. So
Yeah,
Tunyon
is
over
that-
Thomas and Tunyon over
Logan Thomas.
Tunyon or Knox. I mean,
Knox at home. Knox at home.
should have a little bit of a bounce back, or at least
I would think he's a
better bet for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Which is what you're hoping out from both of them. So I guess I would just go Knox. Better offense.
Knox. Yeah.
But they're kind of similar.
Right. It's the same narrative, the same argument.
Touchdown or bust with both of them. Yep.
Same argument can be because they're both at home. Teams are in, or Packers are in a bounce back spot at home. Knox may be in for a personal bounce back at home. Naturally, I think I would just gravitate toward the better offense, at least for at least these first couple weeks of the season, and see how things shake out. Tunyon is obviously very clearly got a clearer path to more opportunity than Knox does, but at home, Bills are going to want to take care of business, and they've had not 10 but 11 days off since they last played, because they get the Monday. They played Thursday, then they get to wait until Monday night. So I think I would lean Knox and then Tunyon, and if it's Logan Thomas, then he's third.
There you go. Yep, I'd agree. DPJ or Burks redraft, who stays? I mean, honestly, DPJ made that real hard with what he did last game in terms of getting 11 targets. Nobody was projecting 11 targets. Caught 6 for 60. But the fact that he was that involved, now maybe it goes back into Amari Cooper's way, but I mean, that's tough considering we know he's getting a massive quarterback upgrade as soon as week 12 when they play Houston, of all teams, because Deshaun Watson is coming back. Burks isn't getting some sort of savior in the quarterback department. Honestly, they could go from a pass-first Tannehill to a run-first Malik Willis if the team just falls apart, which would not help Burks. So if this is redraft, honestly, I think I'd go DPJ. Is that crazy?
I guess it depends on who's available. If you're between these two guys, it might be a deeper. This could be a 12-team league. I mean, just who are you picking up? I mean, or is this just a straight in a vacuum? Just these two? You're curious. I mean, but you asked who stays.
Full PPR.
Right. Who stays? Well, okay. Who's available to kick one to the curb, or and that maybe you just keep both depending on who's out there. Maybe throw a couple of names in the chat of who you're looking at on the wire.
True.
Because they both did fine. They both
showed promise. So.
Yeah. I wouldn't be rushing to replace them necessarily if it's just, if Alec Pierce is the guy who's on the wire.
Yeah.
Elout
traded Gibson and Waddle versus Davis and Lockett. Wanted to sell Gibson high because I don't think that'll last. Unsure of Waddle with Tyreek around even though he's great. Got Lockett to trade away again.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
think
trade.
This one's tough. This one's tough.
I mean, Gabe is the most. Probably is the.
Because what are you expecting to get out of Lockett? You're not going to be able to trade him for anything.
Yeah, I don't know if I quite
Davis,
understand.
But
I love Gabe, but you got him just to trade him away. You're what I'm not sure what you're hoping to get, but it's not going to match the value of Gibson or Waddle.
No, that's not a trade that I don't think either of us would have made. But
yeah,
I hope it works out for you. It's just Lockett.
Yeah, as always,
it's hard to see Lockett, coming close to the production that Gibson will give you if Waddle and Davis end up being about the same the rest of the season.
I just straight up, I mean, yeah, maybe Gibson doesn't total 130 yards from scrimmage when Brian Robinson comes back, but I disagree. I think he will last. I think he will be, I think he will be a viable option for you rest of season. He reminded everybody that he's, people seem to forget, and I'm not trying to single you out, Eli, because a lot of people were off Gibson as recently as like 3 weeks ago.
And
Gibson reminded everybody he's
Brian
talented.
Robinson got shot through the knee. Through the knee.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's fine and improved and on the fast track to return, but Gibson reminded everybody he's good at football. Maybe he's not a pure running back, but he's going to be involved as a receiver, and there's a lot of value there.
Passing.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about the Lockett acquisition. I liked Lockett in best ball this year because he was like the wide receiver 45 off the board. And I said, okay, that's disrespectful to Lockett. Maybe, wide receiver 30 and he beats that projection, but you're still talking about a wide receiver 3 for the season versus a guy who still has RB2 upside in Gibson, even when Brian Robinson returns, and a guy who has wide receiver 2 upside in Waddle. So yeah.
No. Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I love Gabe. We love Gabe.
Hope
Gabe is Gabe to the moon. But yeah, I would have said no on that one.
New Jerusalem, full PPR, Nyheim Hines or DJ Chark?
Hines, baby. I know
Hines.
Chark caught a touchdown, right? I know Chark caught a score. I mean, we just got done talking earlier about how this could be a Hines week. New Jerusalem was the one who pointed it out. Yeah, I mean, Pittman's coming in laboring. Alec Pierce is out. I mean, they need somebody to step up. This was a thin receiving core anyway. If Pittman is like not 100% and their rookie second round pick is out, they are desperate for anybody to step up. So why not Nyheim Hines?
Yeah,
Taylor's going to see 30 touches this week.
I like Chark though.
I like Chark, but give me in full PPR on the road with a thinned out receiving core. Yeah, give me Hines.
Ayuk is going to have a rough game, shit weather again.
Yeah, he could.
Hope not.
I mean, yeah, he certainly could. I do believe in Brandon Ayuk, but it is, when you're talking about him versus Landry, it's fair to want to fire up Landry, who has no weather concerns and popped off for over 100 yards last week.
Yep. And D. Lenny doesn't have to be the last question. Or actually, Cali Loco, sorry about that. Colts defense this week, they've struggled with Jacksonville, or should I pivot or roll? Should I pivot or roll with them? Who are the other options?
Right. Yeah.
But
who's out there?
I think it's fine. Going against Jacksonville, I think you're okay.
Yeah, you're probably fine. But are the Steelers still floating around out there? Are the Browns out there? Hell, did somebody drop the Broncos? They're at home against Houston. I'm not crazy about the Broncos right now, but should be a better showing at home, where the fanfare of Russ returning to where he used to play forever is no longer a thing. That distraction is out the window.
Week 1 jitters aside.
Right. They can focus up and get back on track at home. They're going to be, Broncos are going to be fired up to show that last week was a fluke. Doesn't feel great after how undisciplined they played, but over the Colts on the road against a division opponent, I think I would prefer taking a shot on Denver. So yeah, who else is out there?
Now Delaney's question, and again, it doesn't have to be your last one. Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks have PPR start too. Johnson and Cooks, I think.
Who's Carolina playing? Oh, the Giants on the road. Deontay's got New England at home. Cooks is on the road in Denver. Yeah. Cooks has a tough matchup, but of these three guys, him for sure. Cooks for sure. He's my number one here. See, the problem I have with Deontay is, and you expressed some concern about him earlier this week, is, again, I'll keep going back to New England might stink on offense this year. I know Mac Jones was removed from the injury report, and that's a good sign for them, but they weren't able to put up more than a touchdown against the Dolphins, and the Steelers' defense is way better. Like, Deontay might get phased out of this game real quick. All the receivers might get phased out real quick. This could be the Jaylen Warren show if the Steelers have, like a 21-7 lead in the fourth quarter, because they also look to, preserve Najee as well. New England's defense should be solid, should be respectable. They always are. This offense might stink out loud. DJ Moore, on the other hand, has I would think, much greater chance to have game script in his favor this week.
That is possible, but
I love Deontay too.
I think we're overlooking that Deontay Johnson had 12 targets last game. He didn't have a great game.
Just nice.
12 targets, and he made some insane catches in that game. The quarterback play isn't going to be great in week 2, but I think I'm going with the guy who's shown us that he can be a wide receiver 1 more recent than the other guy who's hasn't and is now playing with the quarterback he hasn't played with, and it hasn't been pretty thus far. I love DJ Moore. Deontay's shown a higher ceiling.
Yeah,
different quarterback, different situation. But coming off a 12-target game, he might not be as involved, but I'm going back to a guy that just had 12 targets.
We have to remember that game did go into overtime. So
True.
Maybe a little extra work for you. You're talking to you're talking to somebody who has loved Deontay since his rookie season. You kind of alluded to it. I just worry that they don't need to throw him the ball 12 times. They might not need to throw him the ball 8 times. Whereas it's easy for me to see, like, the Giants are riding some momentum right now. They won. Saquon looks like Saquon again. They could easily get up 14-0 in this game. And then all of a sudden, out of desperation, the Panthers are throwing a lot. I think we're split on this. Deontay is the better talent to me, and in the better situation. But I think, and maybe I'm overthinking this and just like, week 2, I'm pivoting back to, or I'm going contrarian or whatever, even though week 2, it's hard to say you're going contrarian based off of as small a sample size as 1 week. But I guess that kind of feels that way, but I'm going to say more. We're both in on Cooks.
Yeah.
Or we're split on the other one.
Brandon Cooks is a great play this week. And just moving forward. And Rojo Fitch traded away Dameon Pierce for a 23 first.
Hell
straight
yeah.
up yesterday. That's awesome, dude.
That's a win and a half right now. Because I was saying it. Somebody said, when he was named the starter, I was like, if you have him in Dynasty, trade him off for a 23 first now. I didn't think you could do that anymore.
I'm surprised you got that for him now. Right. Because honestly, I was thinking that I was going to come into this live stream saying maybe Dameon Pierce is a little bit of a buy low right now, considering people are coming off of just seeing him split work with Rex and get the lesser valuable role than Rex Burkhead did just a week ago. So the fact that you got a 23 first for him straight up yesterday,
nice,
means you took advantage of an owner that wasn't paying attention. So good job.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Miles Bellamy, full PPR flex. Curtis Samuel or Nyheim Hines? Curtis Samuel.
Man, really? I think I still say Hines.
I'm all aboard on the Curtis Samuel usage train.
Look at you coming around. Oh, we got a super. New Jerusalem. Thank you.
Oh, shit. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. We will come back to Nyheim Hines versus Curtis Samuel. We just got a super from New Jerusalem, and we want to address this. Thank you.
Of
that
all
was
the
not
running
necessary,
backs for the
we
49ers, who will take the job? Yeah, thank you very much, man. It's not. It's not going to be TDP.
No,
because he was a healthy scratch in week 1, so he is third man up, and it's not going to be Marlon Mack, who was just signed to the practice squad.
Right.
But you can forget about those guys. It's between Jeff Wilson and Jordan Mason, and something about this situation has me thinking that Jordan Mason is going to take the role sooner than later.
Wow.
They cut Trey Sermon outright.
Yes.
And when asked why, they pointed to Mason. They didn't point to TDP. And they've been notorious for doing this type of thing as soon as last season. And they're not asking him to be their RB1 for an entire season. They're asking him to fill in until Elijah Mitchell comes back. Which I think the coaching staff will look at him and say, I think it's okay if we ask that of him. Plus, Jeff Wilson just isn't the paragon of health. Like he's not somebody who typically stays healthy.
No.
So I think whether now or I think right now, if you want it for week 2, it's Jeff Wilson. If you're looking into the future for the next 8 games, I think it might be smarter if you grab Jordan Mason.
Okay. I think by nature I would give my vote of confidence to Wilson. I hear that he has not been he's clearly not the oh my God, the mask or like the flagship of health or whatever. He's proven that he has had difficulty staying healthy, but he has also proven that he can, he can have big games. And as the veteran, generally speaking, I know that these guys, these undrafted guys and these young players who ascend to the, up the depth chart, we root for these guys naturally. We want these guys to have roles. And Jordan Mason's going to see where.
He's the new JaMychal Hasty, bro.
That's not good. That's not good, though. I love JaMychal Hasty, but that's not good. I think it's Wilson. Competitive teams are significantly more likely to lean on veterans on a week-by-week basis. The 49ers were in the NFC Championship game last year. They just suffered a terrible loss week 1 against a Bears team that they are better than. They're going to do what they have to do to right the ship over these next few weeks. And while I hear you that there's a potential long-term outlook as far as Mason, I don't think it would take a pretty Herculean effort, I think, for him to completely wrestle the 1A opportunity for himself. So I would say Wilson, just based on, especially early in the season, teams are going to lean on veterans. And while Elijah Mitchell's expected to be back, hopefully in the next 2 months, might be a full 2 months, but you're talking 8 weeks. By that point, now Elijah Mitchell's throwing his name back in the hat as like, how does this 49ers backfield shake out? So I think I would lean on the veteran Wilson as far as if I had to guess who's going to maintain the 1A opportunity in this backfield.
And I think it's the short-term move again is Jeff Wilson, but maybe 4 weeks out you're thinking, because it does look to be a 2-month injury for Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
So I think you're 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, it might be Mason. So if you want to be patient or just grab them both.
Yeah, I mean, sure. If you have the capacity to grab them both, and then that way you don't have to make the decision, they'll make the decision for you. Great. But maybe you don't have the luxury of that. Maybe there's just guys on your bench where you're just like, I'm not cutting 2 guys to have both of them. So yeah, short term is Wilson. I think long term is Wilson. John thinks long term is Mason. But I think by that point, that quote unquote long term view, Elijah Mitchell's going to be on his way back. So for me, Wilson is the guy to take a shot on.
But thanks for the super chat, New Jerusalem.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now let's get back to the question: Nyheim Hines or Curtis Samuel? You're all in on Curtis Samuel because of his usage, which is fair, especially with Brian Robinson still very much out of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I 11 targets plus the usage he's getting on the ground. I mean,
yeah,
Terry McLaurin might get a little bit more work. Yeah, Jahan Dotson might get a little bit more involved. But hey, then those touchdowns might go to Curtis Samuel this time around. Maybe he doesn't light it up all over the place, but in terms of getting 11 targets, but maybe he gets 6 targets, but 2 of them go for touchdowns. Maybe his stat line looks a little bit more Kareem Hunt-esque.
Kareem Hunt loves himself some touchdowns.
So, Curtis Samuel.
I do like Hines in full PPR. I just, again, we're going to talk about him a lot, that I would think over this weekend with the Colts receivers as banged up as they are.
Yep.
I'm very intrigued by him in full PPR for that very reason. On the road, in the division, you can think what you want about Jacksonville as far as like how competitive are they as a team. Different quarterback, different situation, but they beat these Colts last year, week 18, with the playoffs on the line for Indianapolis and Jacksonville going nowhere fast. So anything can happen in division games, especially with the Colts being on the road. This could be sneaky competitive. And neutral game script for me, for a team on the road, is to throw the ball a little bit more. I think Hines is going to mix in a lot this week. And as much as, I led the charge on Curtis Samuel this offseason. As much as I want to get behind him, and I am still behind him, I would like to, for him, it's like, I need to see 2 weeks in a row. And I think he'll get that usage. But I'm pretty positive that I'm a little bit more confident in Hines' role with the situation that the Colts find themselves in with their wide receivers this week. So we are split, I think.
Yeah, I'd just rather the guy that looks a little bit more like Deebo Samuel and Cordarrelle Patterson versus a guy that looks a little bit more like J.D. McKissick or Nyheim Hines. So, Curtis Samuel. But neither are bad options.
He's better than McKissick, man. Come on.
I'm just saying the diminutive pass catching back.
Yeah. That's
all I'm
fair.
saying.
Yeah, that's fair. So we're split.
I could say James White and Deion Lewis too.
There you go, James White. Hopefully that helps. As always, I like to caveat, this is a spirited conversation that John and I like to have, but at the end of the day, it has no bearing on our lineups. I mean, all we can do is share our thoughts. If we disagree, whether we agree or disagree, hopefully the dialogue helps you ultimately make a decision, because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to make the final call,
Yep.
So hopefully that helps. The discourse is always, the intent is to help.
Absolutely.
Whether we
Joe
agree
Harris,
or not.
What's happening, man?
What's up, Joe?
You're a Prescott owner and your league doesn't have an IR spot. We'll talk to your commissioner about that. But you added Jameis, but Wentz is still available. Who would you guys start? And if Wentz, who would you guys drop for Wentz? Also, you have the Steelers D and the Browns defense with no kicker. Which defense would you guys start this week? No need to apologize, bro. But
no need to apologize for the question.
I have no issue sticking with Jameis. I think he has just as high of a ceiling as Wentz. Now, Wentz is coming off a 30-point week. Jameis, I think, is coming off a 20-point week.
Yeah.
But now he's going up against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's going against Brady.
And Wentz going up against the Lions. I think matchup, Jameis, they both got an arm. I like Jameis's weapons more.
Yeah,
top
that's
to
fair.
bottom.
Yep. Thomas, Olave, Landry, Kamara.
If Kamara can get a little bit more involved, if he gets over the rib injury, it would bode well for Jameis too through the pass game. So I think I'd be fine sticking with Jameis. And in terms of Steelers defense versus Browns defense,
man, the Browns get it's Joe Flacco at home. The Steelers get the Patriots at home, who we have been, it's well documented now. We have been poo-pooing the Patriots offense this week. Of course, the Steelers will be without TJ Watt.
Who is, he's huge for them.
Who is, that's a game-changing player.
So I wouldn't drop either of these guys or either of these defenses. But you do have, I wouldn't want to, but you have to with no kicker. So post your whole team.
Post the whole team.
Post your whole team, because with these two defenses, like, depending on how things go, like,
you're probably going to have to drop somebody.
You're probably going to have to drop one. Do you have faith in the Steelers long term? And then once TJ Watt comes back, you're great. But
yeah, but like the Browns have a healthy Myles Garrett now,
Yeah.
Let's see the whole lineup.
And the Browns play the Steelers next week.
Thursday night.
So you would rather have the Steelers.
Yeah, it's a road game for Pittsburgh on Thursday night. So that does throw an annoying wrench into the situation.
And then Browns at Falcons and Steelers at Jets. And then Steelers at Bills, Browns at Chargers. So week 5 is tough.
Week 5
6
week 5
is
a loss for both.
Browns Patriots, Steelers Bucks. So edge Browns.
So I guess the
week
Browns.
7 Browns Ravens. Steelers Dolphins. So then it goes back even again. See, I mean,
yeah, and at that point you're looking out probably a little too far ahead anyway. So yeah, but that's a good limit to like consider those next like 4 or 5 games. I think I'd give the edge to the Browns as much as I like.
Yep.
As much as I like the Steelers, even without TJ Watt, they get Joe Flacco this week. It's a short week for both teams. They're playing each other week 3 Thursday night, but the Browns are the home team. And then who do they get week 4? Atlanta.
Yeah.
So even on the road, you can roll the dice on that. Week 5, they're a sit against assuming Justin Herbert is healthy, they're a sit against the Chargers. But then you can fire them up week 6 against. They're the ones who play New England. Then, yeah, give me Cleveland. So Pittsburgh's the defense to drop here. But wait until like Sunday so nobody else can do it, or so nobody else can pick them up.
Yeah. Or
at least wait till tomorrow. Waivers typically, I think the default is 2 days. So make the move tomorrow to get your kicker. It is, and it as far as the quarterbacks, it should just be noted and as a reminder, Jameis Winston is questionable with a back injury. Wentz is not on the injury report. So just want to call that out. If Jameis plays, I think I play Jameis. But he's an easy drop, obviously, if he's out for Wentz. And they're both playing 1:00 games, so you can make that call right then when you have to.
Yep. So are we down to D. Linney's question here?
Yeah, about Kylan Granson.
He surprisingly was more involved than I ever thought he would be. So yeah, he is a streamer because he is playing technically more in the pass game, or at least is more of a factor in week 1 than Mo Alley Cox was. So considering, I think they're both going to be involved this week, but I think Kylan Granson is somewhat of a streamer too, sneaky streamer. Yeah. Full PPR, definitely get Kyle Phillips. He was Ryan Tannehill's go-to target when they needed him to march down the field in a 2-minute drill at the end of the game.
Yep.
He basically locked in on Kyle Phillips. So if Kyle Phillips can solidify himself, which I think he already has, as the security blanket in this offense, PPR, that's great. That's great. We've seen what Renfro have done. We've seen even guys like Berrios do well. I think he's somewhere in the middle there. Nemo with some astrology, DPJ, and Bridget, is that Brissett? Line up with Burrow and Chase. Interesting. Looking to add DPJ and drop Burks. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of lateral. You could talk yourself into, again, and I was talking about this a little bit earlier, you could talk yourself into DPJ's getting a quarterback by week 12. Coming off an 11-target game. So maybe he just continues to get targeted like this, and then maybe when Deshaun Watson comes into the fold in week 12, he doesn't get the targets, but the quality of targets go up, and then he maintains the value going into the playoffs. Very possible, but and DPJ, I think he was a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, he was.
But Burks, 1st-round pick. Obviously, DPJ has 2 years of seasoning. I think I gotta go Burks, but that could switch after this game. If DPJ is hyper-targeted again, gets over 10 targets again, and is getting targeted like late season Amon-Ra St. Brown, then you got to go DPJ, but we have to wait one more game until we see that. So until that, just because Burks did not shit the bed, Burks one more week, but it could be DPJ real quick. For me.
Could be.
Elout, now you're pairing Lockett with something else. There you go.
There you go.
You really wanted Davis. Nothing wrong with that.
No, if you want a guy, then then go get the guy. That's fair.
Yeah. Richie, Hawkinson, or Ertz. I think I gotta go Ertz, man.
Probably Ertz.
I'm in unless the options are really bad. I'm kind of staying away from a Hawkinson as a recommended start for basically until he shows me something. And I don't think it's gonna. I don't even think that's on him. I think it's the structure of the offense, the deficiencies of Goff not being able to spread it around to more than 3 different people, and he's just odd man out more often than not with the other options that they brought in, and will be moving forward with Jameson Williams whenever he comes back into the fold. Until they get a quarterback that can sustain more fantasy options than they have currently, or than can be sustained currently by Goff, I think Hawkinson's kind of a fade. So Ertz just scored a touchdown last game.
Yep.
Ertz.
Another game against a good offense in Vegas should stay involved. We got another
Hines or ETN DraftKings ETN,
and we got another super. And this
and
one is from Callie. Callie, you didn't have to do that.
Thank you. Have
Appreciate
PPR.
it, Callie.
If Pittman sits today, play Zay Jones, Jacksonville.
I mean, he was involved.
What did he do last week?
I think 6 for 65. I think.
Okay.
Zay Jones was involved and should remain involved. 6 for 65 on 9 targets and played 83% of the snaps. So not for nothing. Zay Jones could
Are you saying
see a little bit more
now?
work.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're saying not for nothing.
All right. Okay.
Yep. You're gonna just have to deal with it.
All right.
It's fine. Just pour yourself a drink. You'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, should continue to see some decent usage just based off of last week's involvement. If that's your best option to pivot to, and I'm not sure who else you have here, Callie. I don't know if you're including Pierce, Tunya, and Eno and Jalen Warren in this question that I see right below. Although I guess between those options, I guess I would go Zay Jones. Pierce might deliver. He disappointed last week, but on the road against Denver, I mean, that's a tough spot. That's a tough matchup. Zay at home against the Colts. Tough in the sense that it's a division game and he's, a depth wide receiver. He's not his team's like clear-cut number 1 option.
Yeah, but I think
probably
with the money
a better situation.
I think with the money that they paid him, they want him to be their number 2.
Yeah.
I bet they paid him that money with the intention of, okay, now Marvin Jones is our number 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Zay Jones isn't a bad play this week. If Pittman sits.
If Pittman sits. Which we don't know if he will or not.
But thank you very much for the Superman.
Yeah, not necessary for the members to do that, but we do appreciate it.
But go Cali Loco, go ETN over Hines.
Yeah. I mean, I like Hines, but that's a tier break. Again, I'll keep saying it. ETN was wide open for a touchdown last week. Trevor Lawrence sailed the throw. It was not on ETN. So, yeah, give me ETN.
Hey Nemo. Speaking of
Nemo, you already know.
Speaking of buying the dip, yo, I joined Prediction Strike. Earlier today, and it is fun.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna try to get sponsored by them pretty soon, so we can start giving out promo codes and stuff. But
all right.
But everybody should join it. Check it out. It's a fun little platform.
little stock options for as it pertains to fantasy football.
Yeah, if you got a little cut up in the crypto phase for a little bit there, or craze for a little bit there. If you're into the stock market, you can basically do the same thing with fantasy players on Prediction Strike. So it's a fun little thing. I got a bunch of shares of DJ Moore because he was valued at like $1.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. All right, something I got to look into.
Yeah. Theo, is Kyle Phillips worth the pickup? Absolutely. Could have wide receiver 3 usage for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Could be this year's
always,
Cole Beasley type player.
Yeah, as always, it depends on who you're dropping and who else is available. But this might be your dynasty league, Theo. In which case, I mean, yeah, you're talking about a 23-year-old big-time PPR threat.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Richie, what's happening? Drop Isaiah McKenzie for Jalen Warren. You're a Najee owner? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but yes.
I don't love it either.
You got to do that.
Protect yourself. Najee feels dicey right now. I know he's off the injury report. He's going to play this week, but man, it's a long season. It's a long season, and with the Liz Frank injury, I know he's not on the injury report, but it doesn't feel like it's going to take much for Najee to end up back on there. I do think I would secure the insurance policy if I had Najee. So yes, I don't like dropping Isaiah McKenzie, but for Jalen Warren as the person who has Najee, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I would recommend doing that. Rojo, 12 team, have PPR 3 wide receivers. If you had Gabe Davis, what would you need to gain in order to ship him? You have a 23 first straight up or more? Honestly, more. Right now, I would need more.
Yeah, I would need more.
Coming off the game he just did, even though he caught that pass against broken coverage, I would need more because there's going to be a lot of broken coverage.
Yeah, I don't care about the broken coverage when he also caught a contested 47-yard catch on a throw that Josh Allen underthrew him on, which doesn't usually happen with Josh Allen. That would have gone for a touchdown if Allen, throws at the distance he's capable of. He underthrew that ball.
No, he's got something like 17 touchdowns in the last 44 passes he's been thrown. But that's that sort of efficiency in terms of touchdown.
Fire up game.
Yeah, that efficiency is not going anywhere. Same quarterback, much better role than last year. Seems to be kind of a go-to option.
Mm-hmm.
I would need more than a first, even though it's 2023. If you knew if it was like top 3 protected and you're in Superflex, maybe. But I don't know about any fantasy leagues that have that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you could do top 3 protected and a second round pick or whatever, maybe in 2024, then okay, sure. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. But I have to know that pick is going to be the top 3.
But he's 23 and will most likely get locked up by this team.
Oh, he's absolutely getting locked up.
And so, the young guy to start growing with Josh for the first leg of his career, right?
Yeah.
You want to hold on to that guy.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot. D-Lenny, Elijah Mitchell beat out veterans as a 6th round rookie. Yeah. So Mason could do it too. Now, it's not something we should be expecting, but if there is an offense or a coaching staff that maybe we should be expecting this with, maybe they are the outlier. It is this team that we're talking about here.
Sure. It's possible.
Cali Loco, Debo is the running back. These guys will get yards.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yep, he will. He I mean, and we saw
Wide
that usage.
Vulture.
We'll see that usage stay the same. I mean, we saw it in Chicago. I think we'll see it again this week.
What's Bracken, Xavier?
What's up, Xavier? Callie also listed a couple of defenses earlier. I think this was the conversation about what to do with the Colts defense. So between the Vikings on the road against the Eagles, Jacksonville on the other side playing Indianapolis, and the Giants at home against the Panthers,
I think I'd rather just stay with the Colts.
Just rock with the Colts. Yeah, I would just stay with the Colts.
Yep.
The Giants, I guess, are intriguing, but I don't know if they're there yet as a unit.
Nah.
It's a good matchup though at home against.
Good job
average
stopping
Carolina
the Titans
offense.
like you did, but no, not yet.
Yeah.
But Xavier, good to see you, man. If Pittman doesn't play this week, should you play Hendo or Carter in your flex? Your other wide receivers are Marquise Brown and A-Rob.
Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson. At home
less
against the
competition
Falcons.
at this point too.
Yeah, I mean Carter. It's just a rough matchup on the road against Cleveland in a game where I would think Breece Hall gets involved as a receiver.
And it's only a matter of time before the pendulum starts swinging in Breece's direction. Whereas with Henderson, I kind of think, weird to say, his job is kind of safe right now.
Yeah, we can't sit here and definitively say, oh, Akers will get that job back eventually.
Can't say that at all.
Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah.
Honestly, I think smart money's on the other way around.
Hendo just keeping the job.
Hendo keeping the job, and they might draft a running back in this year's draft. If they think that badly of Akers, and they're a win-now team, they draft a wide receiver and they draft a running back.
Yeah.
They've done it. They tried to catch lightning in a bottle with Kyron Williams. That hasn't worked out.
Well, he got hurt.
Right.
To be fair to him, he got hurt. He's going to miss 4 games minimum because they had to put him on IR.
Yeah, but nobody was expecting anything from him.
Yeah,
that's my point. But Hendo. If Pittman doesn't play,
this injury may have had more of a long-term impact on Akers than we were led to believe. Because remember, going into week 1, Sean McVay was like, "Oh, honestly, he's good. Everyone's fine."
I think it's. I don't know. Not a doctor. We'll see.
Not a doctor.
We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
Henderson, Pittman if he goes, Henderson if he doesn't.
Xavier also. Alberto or Tunyon this week. Tragic that Pittman hurt his quad in practice. Yeah, it sucks, and I got to switch some lineups around. But Alberto or Tunyon, I think I'm going Tunyon and hoping for a touchdown. Where then I think with Lazard in the lineup, maybe they get in the red zone more often. So Tunyon has a chance to get Yeah. So Tunyon has a chance to get those red zone touchdowns because I don't think they were in the red zone a whole lot. When they were running. So I think I go Tunyon.
Lazard is listed as questionable, limited in practice all week, so he has a shot to play.
Okay.
Regardless, I agree on Tunyon. It's a get right game for the Packers in a game that they sorely need. Let's call a spade a spade. They already lost to a division opponent on the road and looked bad doing it. That's not great, as it is. If you lose to the Bears, if you're the Green Bay Packers and you lose to the Bears at home and you fall in an 0-2 hole and 0-2 in the division, your season is done. Your season is over. I don't care how weak the rest of the NFC North is perceived to be. You're done if you start 0-2 in general, especially 0-2 in the division when you lose to a significantly inferior team at home in Chicago. This is a get-right game for the Packers. They need to prove that this offense can actually do something this year, can actually score points. Tunyon, even with a potentially healthy or at least available Allen Lazard, should continue to see good usage, good opportunities in this passing game as one of the few holdovers that Aaron Rodgers has any type of rapport with. Tunyon.
And he should be the primary touchdown scorer in this offense when you look at the personnel available.
Tunyon.
Even after what he did week 1, which I think was just him really getting his legs underneath him because, again, coming back from an injury.
Yeah. Yep.
Nemo, confidence level in starting the Rams defense this week.
Confident.
Yeah. I'm fine starting them.
They're playing Atlanta at home.
They played the best offense arguably the best offense in the league last week. So they get a pass.
Is a get right game for. For better or worse, maybe this is a sword that I'll fall on. Teams coming off a loss, especially teams that you expect to be good. I like banking on those teams. I like to bounce back, right? Get right game. Rams are at home. This is it's not a division game, but it's a conference game against a severely inferior team in Atlanta. Get the job done. And the offense looked like it was struggling a little bit last week, and questions are still going to remain about Matthew Stafford's elbow until he has a 300-yard, 3-touchdown game. The defense, it's time to step up. Shut down an inferior offense. Yes, I'm confident in the Rams defense this week.
Yep. Kylie Loco, use Damian Pierce, Tunyon, Eno Benjamin, okay. Jalen Warren in the flex.
Still Zay, right? I mean, this was an extension of the super. It still says Zay Jones.
Half PPR, no tight end premium, yeah.
Zay Jones, yeah, that's wild.
If it was tight end premium, maybe I'd edge Tunyon, but non-tight end premium, Zay Jones.
How the mighty have fallen with Damian Pierce.
Fight for Jesus. Xavier Dubs, is Hendo for Carter over trading or a steal? I don't have a solid tight end, but I kind of like Albert, and if he got that TD, he would have had a much better week. True, but you could say that about a lot of players. If he would have got that TD, you could say that about pretty much almost every player in the league who was playing NFL football last week. So Hendo for Carter. Or if this is redraft, what else am I getting with Carter? Hendo is the better option for redraft for 2022. For Dynasty, Carter's the better option. But even that, pretty close. But Hendo for Carter, what else am I getting? If you're getting Hendo and Alberto, and you like how Alberto, and you're cool moving from Hendo to Carter, okay. But I would say who's your tight end right now? You say you don't have a solid one, but you kind of like Alberto. So is Alberto your tight end right now? And who are the ones on the waiver wire?
Oh, Henderson or Carter for a tight. Oh, sorry, you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's on the wire?
Hendo or Carter for a TD. If you could trade Carter for a TE.
In redraft, yeah, I would do that. I would keep Hendo. I would trade Carter for, I don't know. I mean, you're not going to get Everett at this point.
You could try.
You could try, I guess, but
you're trading a running back and I mean, if the guy, if nobody was expecting.
I guess you could try
Everett. So Everett's probably somebody's TE2, right? So.
I guess you could try.
Yeah.
Carter for Everett. Give it a shot. If not, I mean, man, he caught like 6 or 7 balls last week. I feel like you can take a shot on I was gonna say Knox.
Knox is one too, but I was gonna say Schultz because 6 catches last game. I think he's gonna be heavily involved, even though the quarterback is gonna be gross but he does get Dak back, and the offense is going to be deficient from a target standpoint. So he's at least going to have a very high floor. He might not have a great ceiling, but he'll have a very high floor, probably the highest floor of anybody outside of the top 4, pretty much for the rest of the year. It's not the ceiling, but floor, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be middle of the pack by the end of the year. But yeah, I would do that.
Yep.
Where we at?
Agreed. Dylan, he said that Kamara missed practice the past couple days. Yeah. He's truly questionable. If he's active, you have to go with him. It doesn't feel great right now playing a guy who's coming off a bad game and an injury. But this is a dude that you drafted maybe in the first round. Kamara's ADP shot up when the news about his legal situation was basically said we're holding off until 2023. I regularly saw him go at the 1-2 turn after that news. So he could have been a high second round pick for you. He might have been a first round pick for you. If he's active, you got to play him. You have to. We'll see. I know it doesn't feel great right now, but you drafted him to be that workhorse for you. If he's in the lineup, he's got to be in your lineup too.
Yep. Bucks or Ravens defense?
The Ravens
got?
Miami. It's but the Bucks have the Saints, and the Bucks are on
Ravens.
the road.
Ravens.
Now, again, Jameis is questionable with a back injury. I would, I have to imagine he's going to play. But if the Saints have to turn to Andy Dalton, then obviously that's super enticing. But I think I would go with Baltimore at home. The Dolphins look like they might be a competent offense. But let's see how they do. Let's see how they do on the road against a team that we expect should be a tougher opponent for them than their week 1 opponent.
Yeah, I'd go Ravens.
I think I would go the Ravens. Bucks on the road in the Dome. They have not had success against New Orleans ever since Tom Brady signed there, right? Bucks are 0-4 in the regular season against New Orleans in the past couple of seasons. I'll take the Ravens.
Yo, D. Lenny, watch the Rams trade for Madison in coming weeks or one of the Browns running backs, Hunter Johnson. Yo, watch the Rams be the surprise underdog pick to be the guys to draft Bijan in the first round.
Maybe
they don't do as well this year. Cup still has the. Maybe they have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover and they finish a little bit more middle of the pack, and then, a guy like a running back who, running backs again recently haven't been picked up very high, so maybe they're it can be had in the teens, like a Najee. Wasn't Najee available in the teens? Where did he go?
Overall, like 20, 21, 22,
there you go.
Somewhere around there. But the Rams don't have a first round pick this year.
Never mind.
That was traded to Detroit for Matthew Stafford.
Okay, well, Detroit.
Detroit. Bijan and DeAndre Swift.
No, they're gonna use that to
that's
get
some,
a QB.
That's some over. Yeah, that's some over.
Or a wide receiver again.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They could go after another tight end if they wanted to. They're kind of at the point where as soon as they get a quarterback, they're good.
Yeah.
And everything else is just luxury positions.
Yep.
But Madison, a Rams trade for Madison would be interesting. Rams trade for Hunter Johnson would be interesting. For sure. Hines without Pittman or Hunt? PPR?
Kareem Hunt.
Hunt coming off of that game that he just had. Hunt.
Which we can't expect a duplicate of. We can't expect 2 touchdowns again.
He does that like every other week, though.
He does. He has a nose for the end zone. He's just the better player. Yeah. Despite, he's the 1B, but he's the best 1B in the league, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kareem Hunt.
Cali Loco, your 3rd league long distance touchdowns bonus.
I love these.
Get you a special teams points for our players. Pick 2: DJ Chark, McKenzie, Khalil Herbert, Ramondre Stevenson, Elijah Moore, Romeo Dubs. Thanks for the great show. Hey, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
And
I mean, Elijah Moore is a tier break talent here.
Long distance touchdowns.
I don't know if I guess Chark is your deep threat of these guys.
Yeah, it's either Chark or Elijah. And I didn't see enough from Elijah. They're gonna Browns, right? Are they gonna have to score a ton?
The Browns might not, but the Jets.
No, the Jets. The Jets. Are they gonna be passing a ton like they did last week?
I would think so. On the road as an underdog, maybe not 15. Okay, maybe not 59 attempts. That's a little crazy, but I would think that they throw the ball a lot. Another tough defense, and now they're on the road. I would think Flacco airs it out 40 times, 40, 42, 43 times.
Okay, yeah, so it's really between DJ Chark and Elijah Moore because DJ Chark is going to be
pick 2.
The what? Oh, okay.
Pick 2.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Moore for me, it's Moore is the clear guy.
And then with the long distance caveat, I go Chark.
Man, is Khalil Herbert is he returning punts for the Bears? Or was that somebody else?
He's on special teams. He plays on special teams.
If you get points for return yards too, Khalil Herbert is very intriguing.
Yeah.
Let me confirm this. If Khalil Herbert is the team's primary punt returner, then for me it's Moore and Herbert. If he's not, then okay, fine, Moore and Chark. But can anybody confirm who the punt returner is for the Bears? Is it Khalil? It's supposed to be he's supposed to be Khalil's the kick returner. He might get some. Velus Jones is listed as the primary punt returner, but he's doubtful to play, and is probably going to be ruled out.
Interesting. Would still go DJ Chark and Elijah Moore.
I think I go Elijah Moore and Khalil Herbert. I think I do. We're both in on Moore.
With what Carson Wentz did last week, he's going to do it again, run up the points. It's going to force Goff to throw. And I think Chark is going to be the beneficiary of just one long downfield something. So and with the bonus that they get, I'm just DJ Chark. There's no guarantee that this guy plays in a special. Oh, you get special team points. Oh, okay, you do.
Yeah,
I'm still going DJ Chark and Elijah Moore.
I think I'm with the long distance because the game script is the same for Chark, or the potential for game script is the same for Herbert for me, and David Montgomery is still their bell cow. Yeah, but he's so blah.
Yeah, but the coaching staff doesn't think that. Well, we think that.
Yeah, he's so blah. I like Herbert to catch some passes, neutral or negative game script. Bears are trailing in this game. We differ on the second choice. We both say Elijah Moore. It's not a great matchup, but he's a talent level tier break here. John likes Chark for the big play upside. I like Herbert for the special teams. And
we're both leaning into the bonus points that you're getting.
Yeah, just different ways.
Yeah, it's just if we expect DJ Chark to do anything, it's catch one long ball. So if he's gonna contribute in a game where I think they need him, then he's just shoo-in to hit the market that we're talking about here. But I don't not like Khalil Herbert. I'm playing him in the league at my RB2 spot. So there you go. I like Khalil Herbert too, especially given the special teams.
The special teams, yep. With no Velus Jones, it could be an X factor.
New Jerusalem. Can both of you guys give us a deep dive waiver stats that no one is thinking about? Floor is yours. You got it first.
Like a guy who's like so far off the radar right now, like regardless of your league size or anything like that.
Yeah.
Deep. I don't know how deep we want to go here. Paris Campbell. No, I mean, is that for this week or for this season? For this week, I mean, again, like just lean into the guy, like lean into who's not available. I mean, maybe it's a trap, but
redraft.
Yeah, but like, yeah, for just this week or just for the full season, For this week, I mean, I said Paris Campbell's, Pittman's banged up, Pierce is out. We're talking about Nyheim Hines, who we like, is very talented in his role. But like a Paris Campbell might make sense. I mean, you want to go deep off the map. I mean, that guy, Greg Dortch in Arizona, Rondale Moore is out once again. And then who's the Giants wide receiver that led the team?
Richie James.
Richie James. I mean, Kadarius Toney.
Rick James? What?
Yeah, Richie James. I'm Richie James, bitch. Kadarius Toney today re-injured his hamstring in practice. That man is I mean, I'm not trying to ridicule him at this point as it pertains to injuries, but this guy is a walking injury. There's not much else in the Giants receiving core. Kenny Golladay did a little bit yet last week, but it was James who led the team. I mean, and him and Dortch would be like the so far off the radar I can barely see them type of names, but they are benefiting from other guys getting hurt in thin receiving cores. Dortch, same conversation. DeAndre Hopkins is still out for the next 5 games for suspension. Rondale Moore is out. Marquise Brown did not have a huge game last week. AJ Green we love AJ Green. He's 33, right? 32, 33 years old. I mean,
yeah. Yep.
Dortch, James, slightly maybe more known name, I guess, just from being a high draft pick, is Paris Campbell. Guys like that. As far as running backs, yeah, Jordan Mason for the 49ers is definitely on that list.
I'm gonna throw in. I know he's not probably gonna be on anybody's non-season long waivers, but I think Garrett Wilson is a little bit of a sleeper because everybody's in on Elijah Moore. We saw what Corey Davis did in that wide receiver 1 role. He basically operated like the wide receiver 1 in week 1, but you going up against Denzel Ward is a different situation. So we might see a little bit more of them going towards Garrett Wilson, who is going to be seeing lesser coverage in a game where they probably will have to be keeping up to a certain extent. So for the same reason that we like Elijah Moore, I'm going to say that Garrett Wilson is a little bit of a sleeper. And the other guy that I wanted to say is if you're not looking for just this week, what's his name? Jerome Ford. Because if there was a trade involving Kareem Hunt, we've already heard Kareem Hunt say that he wants out earlier in the year. If there was a trade for a running back for Hunt, Jerome Ford would be next up. If there was an injury to either Chubb or Hunt, which there was to both last season, Jerome Ford would be next man up. So for the same reason that we like Jaylen Warren, because if Najee, something happened to Najee, next man up. Deep sleeper, Jerome Ford. And last year, they also heavily utilized at times 3 running backs with D'Ernest Johnson involved and even John Kelly at times. So I think just because they have that propensity at times, he might even find his way into regular season work. And I know it was the preseason, he was one of the best running backs in the league in preseason. So maybe they see at some point if they can carry that into the regular season, considering he does look to be their incumbent. And I know this is projecting, but he does seem to be their incumbent replacement for Kareem Hunt at the end of the season once Kareem Hunt leaves for next year. So they could want to jumpstart that process. So a little projecting. So, but there you go.
There you go.
And Kendrick Bourne.
Him too.
Throw him in there too. Do we feel okay firing up T. Higgins this week? Yeah, man. If he's playing, yes. T. Higgins is one of those guys. If he's starting, you play him.
Yeah. It's tough with the concussion. Again, as always, it depends on your alternative options. Is it a league where you start only two receivers, and you were able to get Rashad Bateman like 5th, 6th, maybe 7th round? Probably not. You guys are playing in more competitive leagues, but like, can you pivot to Bateman? Then I would maybe do that. If your choice is T. Higgins or anything from Darnell Mooney on down, then T. Higgins. As far as maybe like ADP or whatever.
Yep. And Nemo, Elijah Moore or Jacoby Myers. Elijah Moore in tier break. I like Jacoby Myers.
I like Jacoby Myers.
Elijah Moore.
That's a tier break. Yep. Moore was quiet last week, right? He didn't have this is why he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton, but he bounced back technically. He could bounce back.
He was targeted 7 times last week.
But 59. Like, you got to look at the the percentage, not just the number of targets when you're passing for 59 times.
Yeah, I know, but he was on. He was on the field for pretty much the entire game, 90% of the snaps.
No, and I'm not arguing with you. I think Elijah Moore is the play.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah. Cameron B, 16-team full PPR league. Don't know what to do about my wide receivers. AJ Brown, wide receiver 1. Amari Cooper, wide receiver 2. I'm concerned about Cooper. Bench wide receivers Ayuk, Rondell Moore, KJ Hamler. Start Ayuk at wide receiver 2 or leave Cooper. I'm inclined to give Cooper one more week. It's only week 2. And it's not like Ayuk is a smash wide receiver right now, considering, as somebody alluded earlier in the live stream, Ayuk is going to have to be dealing with some weather this week too. So I think I'd just go Amari Cooper and hope that week 1 was a anomaly. We just look what just happened. I know, different situation completely, but look what just happened with Mike Williams. Complete goose egg week 1, and then there were concerns about his role. We advocated to play him basically everywhere, even ahead of like Mike Evans in places. We said on the Discord to some people, and smashed week 2 just because we were being patient week 2 with players that we drafted highly. Amari Cooper, you maybe didn't draft him as highly as somebody like Mike Williams, but I still think for this week, roll with Amari Cooper, and if he does what he did last week to you again this week, then you can start swerving and thinking about other players, especially hopefully then Rondell Moore's back, Ayuk's back. Hamler, I mean, is there anybody you can drop? Or, I mean, can you drop a Hamler for somebody on your waiver wire? That would be my other question. Who's available? Is there a guy like a
Kyle Phillips?
Jarvis Landry? Yeah.
Or Landry, yeah. I assume Samuel. I assume Duvernay got picked up, but yeah. Who else is out there? Yeah, I would roll with Cooper one more week. I just expect them to be hyper targeted, even if they're not quality targets. At home.
Yep.
At home, little bit softer of a matchup. Carolina's got some good depth that they're in their defensive backfield. I'll go Cooper at home.
Yep. Eduardo, what's happening, man?
What's up, Eduardo?
Chase Edmonds, Michael Thomas, or Jeff Wilson Jr. for your flex PPR?
Michael Thomas. Right? I like Chase Edmonds this week.
Full PPR, Michael Thomas.
It's got to be Michael Thomas.
Joe Harris, Prescott, Jameis, CMC, J.K. Dobbins. This isn't that question above from earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're fine. Again, you're fine with Jameis. You need a...
All right, I guess I wouldn't drop any of these guys.
You got to drop one of your defenses. So it's really I hate to leave it up to this.
Defense.
Yeah, you got to drop the Steelers defense.
Yeah. Drop the Steelers defense
Browns
for
are all
your
healthy.
kicker. Play Jameis. If he's surprisingly, because it would be a surprise, if he's ruled out for this week, then you could drop Jameis for Wentz. Or you could, I mean, again, we like Jameis. You could drop Jameis just out of the abundance of caution because he's on the injury report and pick up Wentz. But in a vacuum, I would suggest Jameis. But he is on the injury report with a back injury. So is Alvin Kamara. So is Mark Ingram. I haven't seen any such extensive injury list for Washington. So for what it's worth. But I would wait till tomorrow so nobody else can pick up the Steelers for their game against New England. But I would drop the Steelers and play the Browns against the Jets. I'm pretty sure the Jets are down their starting left tackle. Like Myles Garrett might kill them all by himself.
I mean, even if they had their left tackle in there.
Even if they did, he's that dude.
Yeah.
So I love Pittsburgh. Love their defense. They're still in a great spot this week. The difference is the Browns have Myles Garrett. The Steelers do not have TJ Watt.
Yep.
Yep, that's the difference for me. So
And
drop the Steelers defense, but do it tomorrow.
Nemo says, New Jerusalem, grab you some Jordan Mason and thank me later. Yep.
We threw his name in the ring. He's absolutely a deep waiver look, no question. And Callie, it's only if they score a touchdown does special. Okay, so that's standard, right? That's like that's standard scoring because that's if you score a special teams touchdown in most scoring leagues, there's no yardage, but you can get the 6 points for the score.
Yeah.
I guess in that regard, I would be the long bonus lends more to Chark's upside than Khalil Herbert's. I do still like Khalil Herbert this week, though.
Very much so.
To get some good usage, to get some good involvement in a game where the Bears are highly likely to be trailing.
Yep.
I don't think they pull off 2 colossal upsets 2 weeks in a row.
D. Lenny, rookie wide receivers and running backs have biggest sleeper upside season long. Rashad White, Zamir White, Jordan Mason, TDP, Jalen Tolbert, Christian Watson, Kyle Phillips, Khalil Shakir, Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Likely, and Treylon Burks.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those names. I don't know if I agree with all of them.
Rashad White does. Jordan Mason might. Christian Watson, I feel like he has to.
Might. Yeah,
Kyle Phillips already is.
Kyle Phillips is already there.
Khalil Shakir won't. Isaiah Likely won't.
Kenneth Walker. Yeah, I like Walker.
Kyle Phillips, Walker, and Burks will.
Yeah.
Probably more than the other.
Not a deep stash, though. Walker's probably rostered.
Yeah. But
White is rostered.
Phillips, Walker, and Burks are the top 3 at those out of that list. Not in any order, but those are the top 3.
Like, I wouldn't be rushing to the wire for TDP. I wouldn't be rushing to the wire for Jalen Tolbert. Apparently, Tolbert is like struggling right now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be rushing to the wire for Khalil Shakir.
Or Isaiah Likely.
I wouldn't for Isaiah Likely either. And then even Zamir White is, I guess, intriguing, but I think like you're gonna need, Brandon Bolden is out this week, and Zamir White is still not quite on radars. Let's see if he proves everybody wrong this week with some usage, with some involvement. But he's on that like fence for me right now between these names. Like it could happen, but we'll see.
I got a question, and it's a hypothetical question. You just gotta roll with me here. Zamir White, drafted by Josh McDaniels, basically.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels from the Belichick coaching tree. Historically, they like to sit or redshirt their running backs for a year. Look at what we've seen since Josh McDaniels has left. They've kind of bucked that, or at least been, gearing up to leave. They've kind of bucked that trend and gone basically Ramondre Stevenson from the get-go. Maybe that red shirt running back philosophy is more Josh McDaniel than it is Bill Belichick. And maybe that Zamir White will not get any play this year. Basically. It's within the range of possibilities. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather have Rashad White than Zamir White. I think I'd rather have Jordan Mason than Zamir White.
Well, to that point,
for this year, for redraft, yes.
To the point about Ramondre, though, he got played last year when McDaniels was still the offensive coordinator. So
yeah, you're right.
In that regard, that gives Zamir White some outlook, but also, to be fair to Zamir White, I think the NFL whiffed on Ramondre Stevenson as far as
Ramondre was getting play week 1. Zamir White was not.
And again, I don't think as it turns out, Ramondre should not have been a 4th-round pick. He should have gone higher.
Yeah.
I know he didn't have a good week 1, but as it pertains to how I feel about that, I don't care. So in that regard, that gives Zamir White a little bit of an outlook. But that's why I said like he could go either way. There are other names of that group of rookies who are like Kyle Phillips. He's already there. Or guys who are very much worth keeping an eye on, like a Treylon Burks, who I would put firmly ahead of Zamir White.
Yeah, for me, it'd go Kyle Phillips, Kenneth Walker in a tier, and then Burks in a tier, and then Christian Watson, really. If you're looking long-term, season-long sleeper upside, Christian Watson has the sleeper upside. It's just
he does.
Can he realize it with Lazard coming back in the fold and with what he did week 1? Maybe, putting him in Aaron Rodgers' doghouse, which honestly might be worse than Shanahan's. Could be. We don't know. Not a full role player yet. So a lot of things need to go right for Christian Watson, but he does have very high season-long upside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that Mike Williams life.
I didn't know this previously. Adam Schefter just tweeted out, it was a half hour ago, players that are out, like a list of players that are out. That includes some obvious names: Dak Prescott, Chris Godwin. Wan'Dale Robinson is also out. And not only is Rondale Moore out for Arizona, but Andy Isabella is out as well. So again, those deep throw wide receivers that I mentioned,
Greg Dortch and
Dortch
Richie
for
James.
Arizona and Richie James for the Giants. I mean, you're talking wide open opportunities. So yeah.
And Dan Bellinger should be coming back from his concussion, so might get a little bit more play. And if you're in a tight end premium league or something like that, but that's again deep stash, deep stash.
Yep.
He just got a concussion in the preseason, so we didn't see him week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Your deep stash is Lance McCutcheon. If the Rams wide receivers underperform or get injured, they may give him big upside. Yeah. I mean, Van Jefferson is ahead of him, and he's coming back soon.
Van will be back soon. You're talking multiple, like even that Ben Skowronek.
Yep.
I mean, he's ahead of him, and he looked decent week 1. You're gonna need like multiple injuries, I think, for McCutcheon. I know McCutcheon exploded in the preseason and looked great, but I mean, I wouldn't bank on Lance McCutcheon. Just the he's so far he's pretty far from an opportunity.
Yeah,
a real opportunity.
Now KJ Osborne is a lot closer to an opportunity.
We
like KJ Osborne a lot.
That's a stash.
1 year away, one injury away from wide receiver 2. Yep, absolutely.
That's a stash.
Absolutely. For the same reason that we like Josh Palmer, who look at the role that he was thrust into just yesterday, caught himself a touchdown. That's the same reason we like KJ Osborne. And look at how high flying that offense was.
Yeah.
For the Vikings, we got a taste of it week 1, and look what Justin Jefferson did. He's not going to have that every week where it's going to be like 80% of the targets go to him. There will be some weeks where KJ Osborne's a lot more viable. And yeah, 1 injury away.
Justin Jefferson's going to win Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he is.
He's unreal. But yes, Osborne, like him as a stash a lot.
Cameron B. Hey, you're welcome, man. And
yeah, of course.
Not much on the waiver wire right now in your league. Greg Dortch, Paris Campbell, Brashad Perryman seem to be the best available options at the moment.
Now he's got Hamler. He's got Rondale Moore. Do you have IR spots, Cameron? I mean, can you put Rondale Moore in an IR spot since he's out? Like,
I mean, Paris Campbell is enticing.
Campbell is enticing, at least for this week.
Yeah.
No Pierce. Pittman seemingly is hobbled.
Over Hamler, over Wan'Dale or Rondale. If you're concerned about Cooper,
but you're not firing up any of these guys.
No, you're not firing up any of those guys. But Paris Campbell might, be able to at least maybe start realizing some of the promise that we all, saw in him when he was drafted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Cameron B, you have it filled with Jameson Williams. Okay. Well, maybe just because it's redraft and you're in season, maybe you drop Jameson Williams out of IR, considering we have not heard anything on him, and there's a chance that he might not help you win your league at all. Yeah. So you want to be able to use your IR spots not just for the high upside stash, but that might have looked good on draft day. But you want to. The goal is to win. So maybe pick up, put your Wan'Dale, or Rondale Moore on IR.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
KJ Hamler, is he out yet? Is he out?
Hamler? No,
Yeah.
I don't. Was he questionable, or was he on the injury report?
I think he was.
No, he's not.
Okay, never mind.
Or no, he won't play. What in the world? He's not ruled out. Why is he not ruled out? He's not going to play week 2. You were right.
There, boom.
Uh,
So I mean, you should be able to put both of those guys on an IR spot.
Yeah.
So do it with one of them, and yeah, I would pick up Campbell for a week, even if it is just to have somebody on your bench.
You can probably comfortably drop Hamler with an opportunity to bring him back if you want.
Yeah, that too. But we're at the end of the chat here. I know it's an impromptu Friday stream. You're not typically used to this. Maybe a lot of you guys have Friday night plans going on or anything. But we will be back here Saturday on the typical Saturday night, Saturday evening, 6 p.m. EST stream. Sunday as well, 10 a.m. EST. So if you have any other questions that you want to, or that come up, don't just leave them in the Discord or anything like that, or leave them in the comment section of a video. We will be back with 2 more streams for you before kickoff.
Yep.
But impromptu stream. Any other questions out there? We were hoping to be able to chill with you guys for a little bit longer today.
But we also have tomorrow and Sunday. And what if while we allow for an opportunity for any last minute questions, we'll just do a couple of quick plugs for the channel. Again, we did get slapped with a 1-week ban last Thursday. We are back, and that will not happen again. So you can expect consistent content and appearances from us moving forward. And if you like what you see from the channel, we have different membership offers and options. You can navigate your way down to the description of this video or any of our recent videos. Membership details, first link in the description of this video. I do have a draft plan. Obviously, you've all drafted at this point, but if you want some late season, last minute thoughts on guys, obviously it's a few weeks old at this point. That's the second link in the video, this description. And finally, we have our evergreen invite to our Discord. That is the third link in the description of this video. You do not need to be a member to join, and you can crowdsource questions there. If you are a member, you get additional access to us as well with members only chat rooms in the Discord. So if you're interested at all in what we have to offer as far as memberships go, first link in the description.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate everybody's questions and comments today so far. Absolutely.
Nemo ladies, Gino or Mitch in Superflex? I think the answer is Mitchell. Look, it's so much of a better. It's just such a better offense.
Yeah, it's a better offense.
And the opponents are pretty much the same, but you look at the weapons, you just got to go Mitchell. Yeah. Especially since he does offer a little bit of rushing upside. Yep.
Yeah, Gino not as much.
Can be. I can drop Alexander Madison. You have McCaffrey, Saquon, Kareem Hunt, Naeem Hines as well. I would not drop Madison.
Keep Madison.
I would
hang on to Madison.
Yeah, I would not drop Madison. I would just drop Jameson, put somebody into your IR spot, whoever, one of the two, or even just drop, if you want to hold on to Jameson Williams, you could just drop Hamler outright.
I was gonna say you could just drop Hamler,
but don't drop Alexander Madison.
Nah, keep your running backs. Keep your backs.
Hey, Rojo, don't jinx us. Come on now.
Nah, let's not do that.
No.
And
Nemo, we're not helping you. We're not helping you with your zombie league. That is all you, man.
Add to your zombie team from waivers this week.
We're not helping you.
I'll take a look. I'm gonna take a look. That doesn't mean I'm gonna sign off on any decisions here.
Richie, drop one of my defenses instead of McKenzie for Warren.
Rob Gronkowski's available, Nemo. What's the question? Do you drop one of your defenses instead of McKenzie?
Who are your defenses, Richie?
Yeah, wait, did you post your lineup?
Ravens or Bucks defense?
Drop the... I almost said drop the Bucks as if I was like without a second thought, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No. Drop McKenzie.
Yeah, drop McKenzie. Keep your defenses because you have two good options that you can flip-flop between.
Yep.
Keep your defenses.
And we got a kicker whisperer question for you.
You start Greg. It's Greg Joseph, right? Or Jake Elliott. Is Cade York out there, Nemo?
Oh, your new favorite.
My new favorite guy. Is Cade York out there? Nemo? If you have to go between those two guys, Joseph had like 13 fantasy points last week. I think Elliott had like 7 or 8. What are the conditions? What are the weather conditions in Philly on Monday night? We get to look at weather reports again, guys. How fired up are we about this? Philadelphia weather let's look. Monday night. Ooh, it's gonna be hot in Philly on Monday. 89 degrees. Let's see. I'm looking this up right now.
York was drafted. Yeah.
Rude. A few thunderstorms in the evening with a 50% chance of rain. Now, only 8 miles per hour wind gusts. So that's not a concern for your kickers. But I think because there might be some elements, if these are your two options, give me the guy who's probably a little bit more used to playing in those conditions as opposed to the guy who's used to playing in a dome. So I would say Elliott.
There you go.
I would say Elliott. Hope he pops off and then trade him for Cade York straight up.
We are not getting banned one more time. Is Dallas defense worth the stream next week against Danny Nichols?
On Monday night in New York?
I guess, but there are better options.
I would say no. I worry about backup quarterbacks putting defenses in a bad spot. With potential for turnovers and sacks and all that good stuff.
Yep.
I would say no. I know Daniel Jones just threw another interception like 5 minutes ago, but I worry about teams who have the potential to the Dallas might spiral out kind of quickly if they get boat raced this week by Cincinnati. And then they got to go on the road.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I would look to avoid that. I know it's Daniel Jones, but I would look to avoid that.
And Xavier Dubs, York or Bass this season? In the long run, Bass. I love the future for York, but the offense that Bass is tied to. I know there might not be scoring a ton of field goals in that offense. It might just be more straight up touchdowns, so he's kicking extra points, but I got to go Bass.
Bass is obviously attached to the much better offense. But yeah, I think York is going to have more field goal opportunities, the ones from 40,
not going to disagree with that.
5 yards out. Bass is a very safe option. York is a little bit more swing for the fences as far as kickers go. He's going to be more volatile, especially on the road. The Browns are struggling to move the ball. York is maybe not the most enticing guy. He might be okay, but he's maybe not the most enticing guy this coming Thursday against the Steelers defense. But man, he's got a leg. Bass does too. And both play in cold weather places eventually. If I have Bass and York is out there, I'm probably not dropping Bass. But if I don't have Bass, or if I have Bass, if I don't have Bass, if I don't have Justin Tucker, if I don't have Evan McPherson, I might drop whoever. I dropped Jake Elliott earlier this week for Cade York.
Yeah, if you don't have an elite option, go York. But Bass is an elite option. So.
Yeah, like Nick Folk, Matt Gay. If you have those guys, maybe not Nick Folk this year, but if you have Matt Gay, okay, fine. If you have Younghoe Koo, all right, fine. Don't drop those guys for Cade York. But if you are, if you took a shot on Will Lutz, he's been good in the past. Saints kicker, drop him for Cade York.
Yeah.
If you had Harrison Butker and he's sloshing along with this injury, hell, drop him for Cade York. I know Butker's a stud, but if he's hurt, then You can't be rostering 2 kickers.
Right.
Yeah.
And Cameron, it doesn't have to be our last question, but I would roll for this week with Amari Cooper over Paris Campbell for wide receiver 2.
Cooper.
Nemo, you ain't wrong. Also looking at Chicago, Houston. All right. Kirk Cousins or Trey Lance? Kirk Cousins.
And you have Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Made
the decision
Club.
easy.
First of all, welcome in. You are catching us at the tail end of our stream. We will be back.
And we don't normally stream today, but
yeah, but we had some issues with the channel, but we're back. Yep. Saturday, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you got any more questions, you can join us then as well. But yeah, with having Justin Jefferson, Cousins, go for the stack.
And yeah, the Bills are looking different this season, man.
Bills are.
I'm quite happy about it. I mean, both of our fan bases are. The Eagles are looking different this season too.
Well, the Eagles
kind of different, but still.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are maybe like a top 10 team in the NFL. The Bills look like they might be a top 2.
Yo, Rojo, if that's real, that's hilarious. Russ Wood.
I thought he could pull a fast one on him.
Yeah.
Let's ride, Broncos Nation. Nathaniel Hackett's also still the worst coach in the league. But
yeah, the new Nagy. It's all right. Eli, you're heading out. Hey, thanks for chilling with us, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Sunday before the games kick off. Yeah. And I think we're gonna be wrapping this one up, unless any of you guys have any more questions for us. Rojo, crazy. I understand using some of the same concepts, maybe a little bit of the same terminology, but the same hand signals.
It's like you're out of your mind.
Come on now. But thanks for chilling with us tonight on a Friday night impromptu stream. Very excited for week 2. Apologies again for everything that went down over the past week. We're very happy to be back with you guys here today. And Lenny D, Trey Lance still on the runway. Once he takes off, could be special. Look for him to
But let's rock with the proven stuff first for right now.
Especially with that stack that he has with Justin.
Yeah, Jefferson, with Jefferson,
makes it easy.
Yeah.
Eli, you hope Swift will be. You hope Swift will be injured. It's my way out of a bad trade. Well,
we don't hope for injuries.
We don't hope for injuries, but we hope it still. We hope that the injury doesn't happen, but it still works out best for you.
Right, but then you still get a positive outcome out of it. But yeah.
But thanks for chilling, y'all. We will see you tomorrow as well as the next day. And have a good start to your weekend, y'all.
Yep. Enjoy your Friday night, everybody. Thanks.
Peace.